Hey everyone, Ryan here from Dorklords Game Club with another Warhammer 40k battle report. Today we have Skari, Chapter Master of the Eternal Warriors Barrie chapter, with his Dark Eldar versus me, Ryan, Chapter Master of the 40k Nation Dorklords Georgian Triangle chapter, and my Tyranids. So let's see the armies and get this battle started.
Some fight for gold, some fight for glory, but tonight club pride is on the line. Welcome to another Dorklords Battle report. There's not a good guy in sight as Skari's devious Dark Eldar take on Ryan's terrifying Tyranids. This is 1500 points of the Scouring with Dawn of War deployment. Let's go to the armies. Starting with the swarms then, this is 18 Hormagaunts with toxin sacs, giving them poison. Also in troops, this is 17 Termagants with flesh borers. Next in elite, it's the gun-toting Hive Guard. Ryan has taken 2 units of 2 of these formidable strength 8 shooters. This suspicious looking Carnifex is actually a proxy Tervagon today, with adrenal glands, toxin sacs, crushing claws and 3 psychic powers. In heavy support we have a Trigon with toxin sacs. And more Termagants here, this time with Devourers for 3 shots each. They are coming down in a Mycetic Spore. Next, also in a Spore, is a Doom of Malantai, proxied Zoanthrope. And finally, the Master of Monsters, a Mighty Hive Tyrant. This guy has a Lash Whip, Bone Sword, Heavy Venom Cannon, 2 Psychic Powers and a Tyrant Guard. That's Ryan's Hive Fleet. First to attack for the boys in black, it's 10 Kabbalite Warriors. They have a Heavy Splinter Cannon. And another troop here, an additional unit of Kabbalite Warriors. 5 Witches next, with Haywire Grenades that they're skimming forth in a Venom with Night Shields and dual Splinter Cannons. Skari decided to take that contingent twice, so this is another unit of Witches with another Venom transport. More troops now with 8 Racks with a Liquefier gun. They are riding in a Raider with Dark Lance and Night Shields. In heavy support, this is a Kronos Parasite Engine with Vortex and Liquefier Injector. And the second heavy choice is a Talos Pain Engine with Chain Flail and Twin Link Splinter Cannon. Ruling the skies in fast attack is 5 Scourges. They have 2 Haywire Blasters. And this deadly flyer is the Razorwing Jet Fighter with 2 Dark Lances, 4 Monocyte Missiles and a Splinter Rifle. 3 Gruesome Grotesques here with an Aberration in the middle. They have a Liquefier gun. They are in a special converted Raider Command Barge that has Night Shields and a Dark Lance. Rounding off the crazy train here, the HQ is Urian Rakarth, who is joining that unit. He has a Casket of Flensing, Clone Field and Ica Gauntlet. That's 1500 points of poison and pain. The battle lines are drawn and the stage is set. Will the devilish Dark Eldar teach the Tyranids the meaning of pain, or will the hive mind find dine on sultry space elves? With bragging rights on the line and 6 objectives at stake, these armies are about to throw down. This is Tyranids turn 1. A psych test first for the Tervagon then, passing on a 7. It then uses Iron Arm to get to Strength and Toughness 9. The Hive Tyrant also psychs, passing his test on a 7, before getting himself to Strength and Toughness 8 with Iron Arm. The Tervagon rolls enough on its move through cover roll to reach this forest. Meanwhile, keen to follow in the wake of their mother beast, this termagant brood scuttles along to the left. The first unit of Hive Guard moves up towards the hill, swiftly followed by the other unit of Hive Guard with guns at the ready. The Tyrant Guard plods along ahead of its master, bringing all three of those units closer to the hill and the central objective. The Hormagaunt brood rolls a 6 on its bounding leap roll, moving a combined distance of 12 inches. Bounding leap technically happens in the shooting phase, so this means they cannot assault this turn. And so, the first moves of the game are assertive ones for the Tyranids, storming forwards towards the Dark Eldar. First to fire is the Hive Tyrant with his Strength 9 heavy venom cannon, going for that command barge. That's a direct hit. Rolling for damage now, and that's a penetration. +1 for open topped, and the skimmer explodes. First blood to the Tyranids. A 5-inch blast also wounds one of the grotesques inside. The Hive Guard open up on the newly marooned HQ and his retinue now. Ballistic skill 4, so on 3s to hit. They manage 1 hit and use preferred enemy to reroll there. The preferred enemy is granted by the Hive Tyrant's old adversary upgrade, so 2 hits. Rolling to wound now. And they manage 1 wound. A lookout Sir roll for Urian succeeds, so that wound bounces to his comrade. Let's see if he can make his cover save. But he fails. Feel no pain now. Also fails, so that's another wound. The Swarm have the scent of blood, and we head into Dark Eldar, turn 1. These Kabbalite warriors stride towards the oncoming Hormagaunts, taking care to stay well out of their projected charge range. And Urian Rakarth and his grotesques make it out of the difficult terrain and head for the hill, taking care to keep the squad member with 1 wound shielded by his fellows. The Raider moves up on the right, the predatory skimmer bringing its guns to bear on the Tyranid left flank. The deadly Talos Pain Engine moves forwards as well, and in its wake the Venom skims up the right flank, checking its fields of fire. The other Venom transport strafes a little bit, lining up a shot. And the shooting phase begins, with Urian's squad running a colossal 6 inches around that hill. The Venom fires first then with 2 splinter cannons gunning for the distant Tervagon. He scores 9 hits. The shots are actually poisoned, so he's on 4s to wound here, and 4 3-up armor saves have to be made. 3 of them fail. Terrible. Next the other Venom opens up at the same target. 6 hits there, once again poisoned, so needing 4s. Only 1 save to be made this time. If we can get around this bad lighting. Yep, that's another fail, another wound. Then the Splinter Cannon in this Kabbalite Warrior squad has a crack at the Tervagon, 6 shots. 3 of them hit, and 2 of them wound. And that's yet another failed save. 1 wound left on this Tervagon now, and here comes the Talos Pain Engine. It manages 5 hits, but just 1 wound. 1 save of 3+ between the Tervagon and certain death now. It's a 2. The Tervagon is slain in 1 round of shooting. Tyranid hearts are broken, and the Dark Eldar celebrate. A total of 9 Termagants are hit by the exploding Tervagon then. The hits are strength 3 on this unit here. But finally, some mercy from the dice gods, as only 2 are wounded. They fail their saves and die with their matriarch. That's a well-earned pain token for the Talos. These Kabbalite warriors will focus fire on the approaching swarm using splinter cannons and rifles, hitting on 3s, AP 5 and poison, so killing on 4s now, but somehow only 1 dies. The dice gods move in mysterious ways. The opening blows have been struck, with blood and tears shed on both sides of the table. The Tyranids got an early kill, but the Dark Eldar have had their fair share of payback. Let's check out what mysterious objectives have been revealed so far. The first one is a grav wave generator, and the one near Yuri and Ratkarth's squad is nothing of note. The central objective near the Hive Tyrant is a Skyfire Nexus. With those secrets revealed, we hurtle into Tyranid Turn 2. Reserves first then, and the Trigon does not arrive. Next up, the Devourgaunts in their Spore, which do arrive. Last but not least, the Doom of Malantai is in. The Doom Spore rolls for its scatter and gets a direct hit, landing in a nice position there near 2 units of Cabalite warriors. That could be crucial. Then the Devilgaunt Spore, the Devour Termagaunts, scatters slightly, ending up in a tantalizing position close to the Dark Eldar HQ. These guys have 30 shots at strength 4, so this could be deadly. Moving on with the turn then, the Hive Tyrant takes his Psychic test, passing, and uses Iron Arm once more to get to Strength and Toughness 8. The Termagant squad that survived the explosive demise of the Tervigon scuttle forwards. Meanwhile on the Tyranid right, this swarm is on the move. Their difficult terrain check allows them to move 5 inches, and they're going to combine that with their bounding leap roll, which gets them another 4 for a total of 9. However, they can fleet those 1s to try and go further, but they don't. So the Hormagaunts, with a total move of 9 inches, head up that wooded valley towards the Cabalite warriors on the Dark Eldar left flank. One squad of Hive Guard shuffles to the left, while the HQ's unit makes it forward 3 inches onto the hill, climbing up to the Skyfire Nexus objective. Nid shooting begins with the Aura of Doom. This unit first actually passes its test on 3d6, so takes no damage. Now for the second Cabalite warrior squad, who are in the graveyard, who are not so lucky. 6 of them are hit by the Aura. They do get cover saves. Here we go. 6 to be made, and they all fail. 6 heads explode and the Doom strength increases to 10. The nearby Spore shoots at the Pain Engine. Strength 6 with 6 shots, but it's Ballistic Skill 2, that's 3 hits there. And 1 wound. A failed save means that the Pain Engine takes a wound. Next, the other Spore Pod shooting at Urian's squad. 6 shots once again, requiring 5s, that's 2 hits. And 1 wound. Cover save needed then, which he fails. He does have Feel No Pain, but it doesn't survive, and that's another wound. Now the Devilgaunts unleash their huge volley of fire at the same target. 30 shots now, managing 12 hits, around a 40% success rate there, not too bad, but an amazing to wound roll. 10 of 12 shots actually wound. After a whole bunch of Lookout Sirs, failed saves and failed Feel No Pains, 1 Grotesque dies and the others all take a wound, including the HQ. The Hive Tyrant cracks off a shot with his heavy venom cannon now at the Raider, but he scatters off target. Then these 2 Hive Guards shoot at Urian's squad. They manage 3 hits and 3 wounds. Lookout Sirs for the wounds that hit Urian then. 1 gets through on him and he has to make a Feel No Pain for that Grotesque, which fails, so that guy's actually dead. Then Urian Ratkarth himself failed a Lookout Sir, so he has to take a Feel No Pain personally, and he takes a wound himself. Then the last Lookout Sir roll is made, so that final Grotesque is going to take a blow, but it makes its cover save as well. The other unit of Hive Guard guns for the Cabalite warriors. 2 miss, but he does have Preferred Enemy, so he manages 3 hits in total, rolling to wound now, needing 2s. Preferred Enemy will help him again here with that 1, so he'll be able to re-roll it, and manages 3 wounds. No saves allowed. 3 Dark Eldar die. Doom uses his big blast now, trying to end that squad. It is strength 10. He's ballistic skill 4, so it scatters only 2 inches. That's still going to hit 5 Dark Eldar Cabalite warriors. 2's to wound them now, and 3 guys are killed. Morale checks for these guys then, and they pass. And also a morale check for the squad in the graveyard, but they fail. And yep, they are running right backwards out of the graveyard and off the table. Will revenge be sweet for the Dark Eldar? Let's find out in their turn 2. Reserves first, and the jet fighter is not in, but the scourges are. These winged warriors are moving in for the kill. The raider moves up and drops off its unit of racks. They can't wait to get stuck into those termagant swarms. On a side note here, Urian actually regains a wound as per his special rule, up to 2 wounds now. The Kronos engine hops over the wall there, 5 inches. It is a monstrous creature. And the Talos nearby also moves up. Faced with a choice between death by doom or death by siling talons, the last few Cabalite warriors actually advance into the Valley of Death, facing off against that deadly swarm. And Urian and his last remaining grotesque move out of the area terrain. Finally, the Venoms maneuver, readying their firepower to thin the ranks of the advancing hive fleet. That's a lot of bugs. First to fire is the big blast vortex from the Kronos here, hitting both Spore and Gaunts. That's a direct hit. A roll of 6 wounds the Spore then, taking a wound, and 4's needed to hurt the Termagants. He actually gets all 3. Ryan makes 1 t-shirt save, but 2 more Termagants die. The Kronos gets a pain token then, and then uses its siphon at the Spore, a template weapon. Also hitting then, but failing to wound. A volley from the Scourges now at this swarm. They score 6 hits, and actually kill 3 Termagants outright before firing their Haywire blasters, which both miss. A trio of Hormagaunts are felled. The remainder of the Cabalite warrior unit focused fire now down the valley at that same squad, needing 3's here and getting 5 hits. 4's are needed to wound. It is AP 5 here, so they'll be killing bugs, and more bugs are shredded. A single shot in the dark from the Dark Lance at the distant Doom now, which manages to hit. This is pretty dangerous. It's high enough strength to instant death the Doom. That's a wound. A 3-up invul save is all the Doom has. Can he make it? It's a 1. The Doom is dead. Unbelievable. Ryan cannot believe his bad luck and has to take the Doom off the table. The Venom now unleashes its firepower at the Hive Guard using double splinter cannons. It needs 3's to hit, and they are toughness 6, so it manages 3 wounds, and a Hive Guard takes a wound there. The same array of weaponry from the next Venom now, trying to finish off that unit. They manage 7 hits and 3 wounds. And 2 more wounds to get through. That Hive Guard dies and the other is on 1 wound. The Talos Pain Engine wails in now with its own shooting weapon, needing 4's. It's twin linking here, and it needs 4's to wound. That's another 2, and the last save is failed. Another one bites the dust. The Talos is actually up to 2 pain tokens now. Next up, Urian Rakar for HQ uses his Casket of Flensing on this unit of Termagants. It's going to be 9 shots, and he has to roll for its strength as well now. It's D6 strength. So it's going to be a strength of 4, and the AP will also be 4. He's ballistic skill 5, so that's a whole bunch of hits, and 3s to kill them outright, I believe. And they all wound. The whole squad is annihilated. The Wrath of Rakar. Urian actually gets 4 pain tokens now. He is on a roll. The Raks, advancing on the Termagants, use their Liquefier gun, which is randomly generated AP. AP 1, good lord. And 4 Termagants are toast. Now for the assault phase, with the Kronos charging the Spore, and the Raks going after what's left of the Termagants. Overwatch for the Spore now, and it doesn't get any 6s. The Talos Pain Engine has to roll its charge, and it easily closes the gap. Oh no, that's the Kronos, my mistake. The Raks actually roll a charge of 8, and the Termagants fail their Overwatch, so they're in combat as well. Hammer of Wrath first from this monstrous creature, requiring 5s, but it fails. However, because it is monstrous, it can use Smash, and manages to hit with 1 attack, and only needs 2s to instant death it here, and that's a 2. Down goes the pod from a strength 10 hit. The monstrous creature can then consolidate, and actually goes backwards 5 inches. And then the fight between the Raks and the Termagants begins. They're actually the same initiative step, but the Raks go first, getting tons of hits, wounding on 3s, and they actually have poison and strength 4, so there will be rerolls to wound. The Tyranids getting a taste of their own medicine here. 14 wounds in total. The Termagants do get to fight back though. They are on 4s to hit, getting a couple of hits there, not too bad. And needing 4s to wound them, actually 5s to wound them. And they manage 2. So 2 6-up saves for the Raks, which they fail, but they do have Feel No Pain, and they fail those as well. 2 Raks actually die. T-shirt saves for the Termagants now, and that's just not enough. In the end, the Raks gain a pain token after butchering that unit. The Dark Eldar have claimed the Tyranid backfield. They then consolidate into the area terrain. So with that turn over, will the Hive Fleet prevail, or will the Dark Eldar Dominion continue? Join us for the result of this battle report in part 2.